All right, what is up? It is Mr. CK40K on the track, and we're talking about Araman today. What about Araman? What do we really mean when we say that? Well, about let me look actually. I was gonna just say I'm 100 pages in, but I might be more. I was right. Well, I'm not right. I'm 195 pages in. We're doing pretty good so far, making a solid dent in this book. And I just want to give you some first impressions. Would I recommend it? Can't really say if I would recommend it because let's be real, I've only read 195 pages and I have finals coming up, so you can really see how I'm divesting and investing my time. You can tell I'm really efficient when it comes to that stuff. But so let's just hop into this. So obviously, Armin the Omnibus. I like the art already. We're just gonna go real superficial first. I really like the art, and I really like Armin as a character in general, even if I don't know that much about him, and I'm still learning about him as a character. One thing I can say off the bat is I like wizards. I don't know, I like magic, and I like, whenever I play any sort of video game, I usually am either like a barbarian, or in this case, in my newest playthrough of Baldur's Gate, I'm now what am I? I'm a bard, but now I'm like I want a multi-class, but let's not focus on that. So yes, Armin. So basically, the book kind of follows him following a war band, and he's trying to again fix the Thousand Sons. He's like, oh, I made a big oopsie. I gotta bring back my boys from dust and bring them back into flesh. And of course, there's only so many ways you could really repackage a story. And I'm not saying this is repackaged. I'm just saying when it comes to Armin, you're just kind of you need to realize any story involving him is usually for the most part going to include, if it's post Horus Heresy, it's always going to include him just trying to undo the Rubique. So he's got one more ritual, and then he'll fail that ritual, and it's one more ritual. And for some people that may be a turnoff, but for me, I enjoy characters who make the same mistakes over and over again because it's fun. It's pretty funny for me. It's enjoyable because they just don't care and they're so sure of themselves. And that's the type of character I enjoy. So I'm like, I respect that. You get up, you fail so miserably, you just say, just a setback. I just turned my whole legion into dust. This is just another Monday for me. We have to hit it and grind and get back to the office and make them new. So yeah, this may not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's cool. He meets up with other sorcerers. I think his name's Asterion or something. I'll look up right now, actually. So, well, first there's Carmenta. Carmenta's like a heretic, Adeptus Mechanicus adept. She's like one with her ship, and she's like a tech witch or whatever. She's like really connected to her ship, and it's actually really cool because you get to see this unique perspective of the ship speaking. Because you often forget when a tech marine or a tech priest mentions the machine spirit. A lot of people who aren't in the cult mechanicum just assume that's just sort of baseline nonsense. Like, yeah, the machine works its own way because that's how it's programmed. But in here, we kind of get this little warp, curmudgeon magical stuff going on, and we see the ship's name is like Aragorn, or not Aragorn, sorry, like Aegon or Arion or something. It's like starts with an E and it's like medieval. It's cool as shit, but I can't really pronounce it. And he talks to Carmenta, and they have this really cool back and forth. And she's basically like a mother to him, but unfortunately, maybe this is a spoiler, so I won't bring it up. Never mind. And then we have let's look, Asterios, I think his name is Astreos. Yes, Astreos, who's another sort of psyker space marine who is found in this warband. And after Armin kind of deals with this warband, he picks him up and he's like, yo, you're going to be my pupil, my protege. Obviously, is this going to end well for anyone who's not named Armin? Probably not. So, of course, this isn't, they're by Cadia right now because this is sort of, takes a couple centuries back. So Cadia is still standing and they're still working. The Great Rift hasn't opened yet. It's cool. Listen, you know, if you like magic and you like Siege and Chaos, this is probably going to be the book for you. Like, I can't give you a full depth analysis and a literary critique of the book because I'm only 195 pages in. But why not? It's a really good book so far, anyway. It's just with Zinch, there's some magical nonsense always going on, and sometimes the book may be a little hard to follow. So you may be not lost at points, but you may be kind of confused because sometimes perspectives shift rapidly, and you're not sure who's really talking or what's really going on. If if Armin's having a monologue or if Zinch is talking to him, because this is just kind of fair play. It happens quite a bit in the story where he hears an inner monologue urging him to tap into his hidden potential. And a common theme, and this is going to be a slight spoiler of this book, Zinch wants Araman to use his powers for himself. Obviously, Araman really only wants to use his powers to help the Legion and kind of his allies so they could help him in return. Zinch doesn't like this and so kind of nerfs Araman. So Araman kind of bounces back and forth from being able to read the minds of countless people and snap his fingers, and they all kind of just go docile, to kind of struggling against a mediocre psyker. So, it gets kind of wonky, but of course it's a Zinch book and it's a chaos book, so it's gonna get wonky. But for all intents and purposes, it's a good book. It's not a bad book. It's just, this is obviously a long book, so you have to kind of manage your time with this wisely. But overall, really good book. I know we're doing Armin. I know we're doing Armin. I really do. But I'm gonna take a quick sidestep too to say, listen, I love the Dark Angels. Legends of the Dark Angels omnibus is kind of good so far, but I'm gonna be honest. Let's see how many pages I'm into. Whew, I'm a good reader, man. 175. But there's more stories in here as well because I remember it's an omnibus. But oh my god, like the font in here, and I'll show you like a little bit, is sometimes like just not that. It's so small and it's so hard to read, and I lose my place so easily. That might just be a me thing, but oh my god, this is enraging. Like, and it sucks too because I enjoy the Dark Angels, but oh my god. And just another thing too, starts off so slow. Like, you want to play a really fun drinking game, every time you hear a mention of the word fallen, secrets, or heretic, you take a shot. By the way, if you take a shot every time the word fallen is mentioned, you're not going to remember your own name by the time you reach another chapter. So let's say, what, 15 to 25 pages worth? You're going to see the word fallen at least 30 times. You're literally going to black out before you even get to the end of the chapter. That being said, I still love Dark Angels, and there's still good parts to this book, but it is a drag. I'm sorry. It's a drag. It really, really is. And I know some people might comment and they'll be like, well, bro, you need to read a lot more, which is true. That is very much true, but holy cow. It just kind of drags. You know what? Let's just do all the books I own. I'm basically recommending them. So, I mean, would recommend this if you like the Dark Angels. Wouldn't recommend it, though, if you kind of want a more action-packed base book. Because so far, I just finished the main story. It was like a Boreas and another guy, and he's a heretic, and he's a fallen, and he's saying how he's helping the emperor, and how the fallen have their own goals of why they fell. Not all of them fell to chaos, yada yada yada. But good book, horribly slow though. I'm still finishing it. Would I recommend it to you if you like the Dark Angels? Hell yeah. If you like slow, sure, go for it. If you want fast, and well, I was gonna say something, but we're just gonna keep it with fast because my brain's not working. You like fast? Whoa, fast paced action. There we go. This is probably not the book for you. Sorry. And now, this guy I'm almost done with. If you can't see where the bookmark is, I am 541 pages into it. This is a good book. This is like, honestly, here's what I'd say too. If you weren't familiar with Warhammer and you're really not into like the grim darkness aspect of it, which is kind of unfortunate because that's kind of the main selling point, this is kind of a lighter hearted book. And I say lighthearted for Warhammer because there's still a lot of death and violence and, suffering for everybody, Imperium or not. Like it showcases the kind of, living under the Imperium is kind of dog shit too. But that being said, good book. Caiaphas Cain is funny and just comical, and it's kind of relatable because again, like this is a guy who's hailed as the hero of the Imperium, and every time he does something good, he just kind of is like, well, if I didn't do that, I would have died, and I'm afraid, and they don't know that I'm a huge coward, and it's just I don't know, like it's funny, it's goofy. This guy just falls upwards into success. It's like the guy at your job who literally has no clue what he's doing except like he knows how to do one thing, but he fails and sort of ends up in this high position of power that he doesn't think he deserves. But yeah, Caiaphas Cain's really cool. Jurgen's really cool. He's his kind of right hand man, and he's a blank, and he's cool too. He doesn't have a lot of personality, but does he really need one? He's like kind of also comedic relief in a way. Like, you got a problem, Jurgen, hit that guy with the Melta stat. And he's like, you got it, boss. Good book, good stories, really diverse cast of characters. And I say that not from the human standpoint, even though that's true. It's also diverse from the Xenos you get. There's Kroot, Tau, Watercast Tau specifically. There are Necrons and obviously orcs, even flayed ones in here. And there's Tyranids. So you're getting a kind of really diverse entryway into the universe, and you're not seeing it from a superhuman demigod perspective. You're seeing it from the perspectives of normal men and women in service of the Emperor. So if that's more your cup of tea, you like the Bolter stuff, and you like, like kind of a slow build up to the politics and the inner workings of the Imperium, as well as sort of diplomatic relations, and the more political side of it, Caiaphas Cain actually does a really good job of sort of covering the political aspects and rank and file interactions between different soldiers of different ranks, as well as the conflicts and stuff. Because it's cool. Listen, again, orcs are always fun, and seeing them kill each other is fun. It's this is the stuff. So I would recommend this to pretty much everybody, even if you're not into Warhammer. This would be it's a good standalone book in and of itself, honestly. So yes, would recommend it highly, actually. That was scary. Anyway, final book that is highly requested and highly enjoyed by a lot of people who really are into the hobby and enjoy the reading aspect of it. The Night Lords Omnibus. So obviously, oh my god, let's see if I can remember everyone. So Uzas, there's the Adept, his name's like Deltan, Talos, Tyron or Tyrion. Oh my god, Octavia, Septimus. There's a great cast of characters. I'm not going to spoil it, but you're following a Night Lord's like warband, First Claw, the Exalted. Like there's so much tomfoolery going on in this book, and you get to see the Night Lords in action on their countless misadventures, and you're thinking, I know a lot of people when they think Night Lords, and it's still true, you can still think they're edge lords, they're terror tactics, and they do, and these are their personalities in this book. Talos and his warband specifically are. There's a reason why I kind of fell in love with the Night Lords a little bit more after reading this, because they're goofy. They know that they suck. They know that when it comes to a fight, they're losing if it's a fair fight. They even say that. What do we do if we're losing a fight? We run away. They're not like other chaos war bands that are, for chaos, for Nurgle, for Khorne, we'll do this. We won't run away. These guys will run away. They will do every underhanded tactic in the book, and I love them. They're scumbags, and they're just lovable scumbags. They're awful. They're truly, truly evil, but they're funny. They're comedically evil sometimes, and then they're actually brutally, brutally evil. But again, super, super awesome book. Talos is a badass and really exemplifies the Legion as a whole. Sometimes when you read the book, you can see it. It's funny because he has some interactions with Conrad Kurz as well. This is obviously a flashback, but you see him and you see the other really famous Night Lord. It's Sevatar. You kind of it's kind of obvious Kurz liked the Night Lords that showed some sort of sense of justice, even no matter how warped it really is. But yes, I know these aren't the most in-depth, recommendations. I'm not going super into depth with them, but I figured I'd make the video anyway because I don't play. But however, that being said, I am getting into it though. I am gonna buy models when the semester's over. I'm buying. I saw a World Eaters like 10-pack of soldiers, I think of Coordinate Berserkers, or was it the 8 bound? But I saw them for $32, and that's kind of a steal. So don't worry. Yeah, you can clown on me. You can say, "Oh, but you only read, you don't play." Well, guess what? I still may not play, but I am getting models. So joke's on you. But anyway, I'm so yes, these are all, listen, all really good books. So there's never going to be a book that I don't recommend, like, because everyone's got a different, like, a good analogy would say, these books may not be everyone's cup of tea, but they're the shot of whiskey. So, I mean, you might enjoy them, and I would hope you guys do. There's very little books I wouldn't recommend. Honestly, I wouldn't say I wouldn't recommend it, but the one book I really didn't enjoy was the Eisenhorn Omnibus. And I stopped at Malleus, and I know probably people are going to say that's when it gets good. I'm sorry. I didn't have the patience to stick through that and try and like trudge through. Like, it was really boring to me. But that's weird because I really like you know, espionage, intrigue, politics, faction versus faction. I love that stuff. But with Eisenhorn, I just could not stand it. It was just a slow journey, and unfortunately, that journey didn't end. Also, by the way, Flight of the Eisenstein is a great book, really great book. Fulgrim's really good too. This is the better one though, and believe it or not, I actually kind of fell in love with the Emperor's Children a little bit with reading this book. I actually kind of enjoy them now as opposed to kind of clowning on them in the past. But oh my god, Flight of the Eisenhorn was awesome. I love Death Guard stuff, and I got a lot of Death Guard in this, got a lot of Mortarion in this, and it was just truly phenomenal stuff. Like, really, really, I couldn't. Sorry, I'm getting like actually like excited, but Garo is a great character, all around badass, and just truly the best of his legion. Like, truly. And it's nice to see, Typhus, who's now Typhon in the book. You get to see these badass evil characters like Mortarion and Angron and Horus and Eidolon. You get to see all the traitors before they're all mutated and before they're all wholly devoted to chaos. And I like that. And if you like that, if you like to see, like, if you like to go in chronological order, and you get to see all these characters and their journeys and their own separate stories, because again, everyone's story in the Horus Heresy is entwined in one way or another. One character might pop up in one story, and then you'll see them three books later, and you find out they've been doing a revolution. They've been, they just decided that they just formed a whole new alliance that's helping or destroying someone. It's awesome, really is. And this book is kind of like the epitome of that. It is really a good book. I know, is this the most groundbreaking, review of the book? No, but look at my face. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty passionate about it. So, honestly, if you start with any of the books here, this is the book to go. And I am super, super lucky I got a physical copy of this, because they are very, very hard to find, because you can find them usually very expensive. And I'm trying to find the Descent of the Angels, and that's going for a pretty penny. So I might just listen to the audiobook, but really good book. Anyway, that went on for a little bit longer than I expected. But, what can I say? I like to read. Even though I just did a video on Fabius Bile, I just finished the trilogy. Really good books, by the way. I would recommend you read them. There's a lot of good Warhammer books out there that I obviously haven't touched on. And hopefully my kind of my very in-depth review of these books has kind of got you interested and you want to read some of them. I think that's great, and you should definitely go for it. But if you have any books you want to share in the comments, please comment away. Like, I'd be more than happy to look at them and just kind of glimpse upon. Can't promise I'd buy them right away, because let's be real, I'm working on a college salary right now, meaning no money. But I would be happy to, probably because I have Audible, I'll listen to them. Or if I have, during the summer, I might go get some. Definitely do that could be like a little series where I look at your guys' recommendations, read them, and then tell you guys what I feel. So that being said, that was just me reviewing some of the Warhammer books I've and I've read. Obviously, I love all those books, though. That being said, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. If you liked the video, awesome. I appreciate it. If you don't like the video, I'll live. Any attention's good attention, you know what I mean? That's not true. I'm very sensitive. And finally, if you like the video so much that you're just interested in hearing more of my Warhammer takes and ideas and stuff, I recommend you stay around and subscribe. Anyway, thank you so much. I am out of here.